Hey bakers, today I'm going to show you how to make the perfect chocolate buttercream. It is creamy, silky, rich, and perfectly sweet. Also, it comes together in a snap. Okay, let's get started. For this recipe, we're using 1.5 cups of unsalted butter at room temperature. That's about 340 grams, but let me tell you, room temperature butter should yield to the touch. So you press down with your finger and you have to press. It doesn't just give way and melt. Let's add this in here. If you want to double this recipe, it doubles up perfectly for a giant 9-inch triple layer cake. That'll be delicious. We're gonna cream this up. I'm using the paddle attachment on my stand mixer, but you can use hand beaters, and in a pinch, you can even do this by hand with a whisk or a spatula, but that is a lot of work. So this is the easiest way, even though it takes up a lot of space and it's pricey. Okay, so my butter is nice and creamed up. It's just, it's more pliable now. It helps the whole process get started. In my hand, I have 1/3 cup of a really nice cocoa powder. This is from Valrhona, but any nice cocoa powder will do. It is the main flavor, so you kind of want to splurge on this. You can tell the difference. Sift it out because the cocoa will have a lot of lumps in it. There's a high fat content to it. It's important to sift the ingredients for your buttercreams, especially if you're going to be piping it. If you're doing any piping, your tips will get clogged by clumps. You don't want the clumps, and it's really easy to get rid of them. So just a little bit of sifting goes a long way. You will thank me later. I've had batches of buttercream ruined by clogs. All right. Mix that in there, go low and slow. I'm gonna add in 1/2 teaspoon of salt to get started. I might add a little bit more later. Okay, this butter is becoming a beautiful dark brown color. I'm scraping the mixer down, and let's just continue mixing. That smells amazing. Okay, now it's time for the sugar, and the same rule holds true. This sugar is probably fine. It's a new bag. C&H sugar, not sponsored, but I find they don't have lumps. Some brands do, and sometimes if the bag's been open for a while, got a little bit of moisture in there, it'll get lumpy. So let's put this mixer to the side and sift out 1.5 pounds of this. You don't have to use exactly 1.5 pounds if you don't have a scale. Just most of the bag. You can use less, you can use more. It's gonna be up to personal taste. The less sugar you use, the more kind of silky and soft your buttercream is gonna be. So if you don't like things super sweet, cut back on the sugar, but not as good for stacking. So if you're building up a cake or doing something structural, you're gonna see, oh my gosh, my cake is leaning, I have to put it in the fridge to chill and harden up. And then at room temperature, it might go soft again. So more sugar, more sweet, more structure. Word to the wise. Love a fresh bag. Okay. This gets messy. Some people are so much neater than I am, but I am who I am. Sift a bit of sugar at a time. So soft. Sifting powdered sugar reminds me of Christmas because I use a little dusting of powdered sugar to look like snow on a bunch of my cakes and cupcakes. It brings back holiday memories. None of that mess ever happened. You didn't see anything. Okay, last bit, that is 1 pound, 8 ounces, or what? 680 grams-ish. Okay, there we go. Sift it nice and neat. Almost no mess. Almost. Okay. Now for the fun part, we're gonna be adding the sugar in. So just take a cupful at a time, maybe a little bit more. Add it into your mixer. You can use a tea towel to cover it up, or if you want, you can use that plastic attachment. I have 3 of those, by the way, people, and I'm just not a fan. I don't like it because it's one more thing to clean, and there's always a little bit extra that flies out anyways, so I don't know. Mix it up on low with your paddle attachment you can take a peek in, and once that sugar is incorporated more, increase the speed and you can remove the tea towel and see what's going on. Here we go. Just to show you right now, looks like buttercream, tastes like buttercream, could definitely use some more sugar. Keep on going. All right, looks a little crunchy. I'm gonna add in 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla just for a little bit of something extra. It's optional though. And now for, hush. And now for the coffee. I almost always add coffee to anything chocolate. You do not taste the coffee. You're not drinking a cup of coffee. Let's add in about 2 teaspoons of lukewarm or tepid or cold coffee. This is from a mocha pot, so it's really strong. It's basically espresso. That's why I'm so wired every morning. Oh my gosh, just adding in that little bit made such a big difference. I can smell it already and it is amazing. A little bit more sugar, just a touch. And we're almost wrapping it up here. Okay, it's my secret in the kitchen. Don't tell anybody. All right, let's take a look at this. It looks amazing. Now, I'm gonna get a spoon, not an animal, in front of people. Got a really nice hit of salt. I'm gonna add in a sprinkle more of salt. I like a salty chocolate, and I'm just gonna add in a touch, like maybe 1/2 teaspoon more of this coffee mixture. Okay, let's mix this up. And you know, a little splash of cream never hurt anybody. Could you use Bailey's? Yes, you could. Oh, we're out of cream. I'll have to put Bailey's in my coffee. Secret's out, Mom. All right, nice splash of cream. We can actually scrape the bowl down because it's looking kind of crazy. It's a lot of layers. One final mix. Let's see how this goes. Okay, clean spoon. Let's check this out. Oh, that's yeah. Look at this chocolate. Transferring my buttercream to a piping bag fitted with an 869 tip, one of my favorites. It's a large open star, really versatile, highly recommended. This can get messy. It's important not to overfill your piping bag. That's how catastrophes happen. Better to keep filling it up than to have one that's super full and unmanageable or starts leaking out the top. All right, let's get to piping. I'm excited. How about them apples? Look at this. How cute is that? And you know it's gonna be delicious. Okay, let's do a couple more just for fun. So by the way, I do bake my cupcakes in the regular old white papers, but for the sake of my audience, I will pop them into some decorative cups over here. You can bake cupcakes in these cups, but I find they get a little bit discolored and yellowed during baking. So this is the more aesthetically pleasing way, but totally optional. Here we go. Nice and easy and delicious. Can't wait to eat these. All right, these guys are gonna get photographed for my cover shot, putting you aside. However, this spoonful of buttercream is just for me. I mean, wow. Whipping it really pumped a lot of air into it, so it has almost a frothy texture. It's not dense. If you want to check out some recipes, this would be perfect for my vanilla cupcake recipe. And why not try out my ultimate chocolate cake? Click down here for that. It is like heaven on earth, so chocolatey, delicious, and moist. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. And if you like my videos, click that like button. A lot of buttercream in my mouth. Click that like button and hit subscribe.